Welcome, everyone, to the Chris Parrish Podcast, episode 141, Credit Score. And welcome to the newly designed Chris Parrish Podcast. That's right, a new layout. We're going to have a new video coming soon. We are getting upgraded, people. Why? Because you deserve it, and because you have stayed with me for over 140 episodes, I have decided to give you guys the updated look. Let me know what you think and if you like it. But first things first, if you haven't already, go check out my link tree up above at Chris Parrish and shoot me a like, a follow, a subscribe for all of that, because that goes a long way and I appreciate it. And if you want to help out the surrounding partners and affiliation of the Chris Parrish Podcast, like Turnbuckle Studios and turnbucklestudios.org, the official webpage of Turnbuckle Studios, you can go and check that out. If you want to go to w.gg and check out all the amazing flavors that they provide you and use the code word Parrish10 at checkout to get yourself 10% off, that goes a long way of helping the channel out as well. And if you want to help out a personal friend of mine, Beercade YEG, located on 10544 82nd Ave in Edmonton, Alberta, the home of all WWE, PLE, and AEW pay-per-views. By the way, they're free. It's an amazing venue. You get to eat some great food. You get to watch free professional wrestling, and sometimes you can play some arcade games. What better of an atmosphere than Beercade YEG? And that's why they're the official partner of the Chris Parrish Podcast. And this is episode 141, Credit Score. And the biggest question I had this week, why did you call it Credit Score? Well, guess why? Because we know that usually when you want to try to revamp, you always look at your credit score, right? You're always wanting to make that big change, but that credit score always kind of pulls you back. So I thought, as I was upgrading, as I was making some changes here on the podcast, why not check in on the credit score of the professional wrestling scene, because we're seeing some changes there as well. In WWE, have you not seen NXT this past Tuesday? We saw the main event scene absolutely get tattooed by a man named Fatu in the form of Zilla Fatu, as he made the impressive debut on NXT. That's right. On Tuesday, we were doing Turnbuckle Talk, and we were talking Zilla Fatu. We had heard that False Finish had put out that Zilla Fatu had signed with WWE, but did anybody really expect that? Put on that meme, 1 hour later, Zilla Fatu interrupts the Grayson Waller, Cruz Montana. That's right, Vic Joseph. Cruz Montana. We heard you say Mike Santana a few times, but Cruz Montana, Grayson Waller, number one contendership match for Tony D'Angelo's NXT championship. And who wrecks the party? Zilla Fatu. And the crowd went completely crazy. Completely crazy. Losing their mind. Fantastic match, by the way. Cruz Santana. That's right. I can do it too, Vic Joseph. I can mess up. Cruz Montana looked absolutely amazing in that match. So fluid. So absolutely crisp in that match. And Grayson Waller was just taking it and then giving it back. It was a great match for both men. Cruz Montana looked the part of a world champion. Grayson Waller put his stamp on why he deserves to be treated as a world championship talent in NXT. So you look at all that and you're wondering who's going to be the contender, who's going to challenge Tony D'Angelo. And then boom, Zilla Fatu changes the question. We've been seeing this time in and time out. Robert Stone saying he assigned somebody new. It was Cruz, Montana, first time around. Now it's Zilla Fatu. We've seen it before with Mason Rook. We've been seeing the landscape of NXT completely changed over the months, and it's been fantastic to watch. But Zilla Fatu not debuting on Raw or SmackDown under the likes of the Bloodline, he is doing something completely different. And that is something I personally enjoy because we are getting beaten to a pulp with the Bloodline stuff over the past half decade. And we know that just because the Bloodline family is strong and there's more people that could join doesn't mean you always have to. Eric Bischoff has stated that the biggest mistake in the NWO creative phase was adding too many members. And he has advised that you don't do the same thing with the Bloodline. Now, this is just one of those reasons that just because you can doesn't mean you should. So, what does Zilla Fatu in NXT mean? It means the landscape is going to get rough. It's going to get chaotic. It's going to get fun to watch for everyone. When you look kind of there, you got Tony D'Angelo at the helm being your champion. Then you have Cruz Montana. You have Grayson Waller. You now have Zilla Fatu. And whenever the time comes, you'll get Miles Bourne. You can have Shawn Spears right there as well. We know that Eric Young has signed with WWE. We don't know in what form he's going to be used. Could he then be put in this position at NXT into the world title picture? Could we even see others? We haven't seen Naraku lately. Is he going to jump up and join Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown? Or are we just biding some time before he comes back? I mentioned Mason Rook. Is he going to have that escalation back into that scene? There's been a lot of questions, and there's a lot of talent that can go after that championship, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But what we do know is that number one contendership match was supposed to dictate the number one contender in the challenge of Tony D'Angelo for Heatwave. And we did not get one. So I'm proposing this. We get a triple threat match at Heatwave. We see Cruz Montana. We see Grayson Waller challenge Tony D'Angelo in this triple threat match. But we make the special referee Zilla Fatu. And I suggest this simply not to put Fatu directly into a title match, but to save it. We know that he wants to be the champion. Yes, saw that with what he did. By the way, what an amazing diving spike that he gave. How crisp did that look? His splashes looked amazing. But how much fun was it just to watch him go? So now, how much fun would it be for him to play the patient game and really say, whoever wins, that's who I get? And I think that's fun dynamic. We saw that number one contendership match absolutely being taken away from us. So why not give those two men that shot? Instead of choosing one, you give them both the opportunity. And that is something you can do now to go into Heatwave. And then coming out of Heatwave, You have Zilla Fatu take on whoever comes out, your champion, and you're off to the races with now a couple months extra of build. You can then go forward with all this. Doesn't mean you have to take whoever doesn't come out as champion away from the picture, but you can then put them in a segment or a program with one another. And then now you have two great matches for your next PLE, for the next big show, for the programming and the content that you have every Tuesday. And I think Zilla Fatu is just adding that extra depth to NXT. And now it's a must watch. If it wasn't already, it's a must watch in that division for sure. The women have been absolutely carrying that company for the last few months, maybe even longer. But now there is star power and there is some why we talk about the men's division back into that world title scene. And I think that is something that's going to help this show really take that next step. And I can't wait to watch NXT every Tuesday. In fact, we all know that I like to cover NXT PLEs with watch parties. And maybe, just maybe, we might do it again. In fact, I think we are going to do it again. Because Sunday, August 30th, guess what? I'm back at it. Back at the watch party game for NXT. And it is for Heatwave. That's right. I'm bringing you another Heatwave watch party. Well, not another Heatwave watch party, but another watch party involving NXT Heatwave. August 30th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Start. And you can check out all my links on my link tree for more information. So please check out that at the end of the month, because at the end of the month, it's going to be an absolute monster day with 3 different wrestling shows. When we know AAA is also later that night, we got All In on the AEW side, live from Wembley Stadium. That's also happening. And I'm sure my partners over at Beercade will be having a live viewing party for All In. So make sure you want to check that out. And by the way, it's free. So let me know in the chat what you think of Zilla Fatu showing up and being WWE bound now. How long do you think he's going to be in NXT? And if he was to move up to Raw or SmackDown, do you put him directly into the Bloodline, or do you have him do something completely different? It's going to be an absolute whirlwind, and I can't wait to see what Zilla Fatu does next on Tuesday. But that's Tuesday. We got a long wait until then. Yeah, you might say it's only a few days, but there's a lot of stuff between now and then. And there's a lot of stuff on Turnbuckle Studio. So if by chance you need to be reminded of what that is, check this out.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday night, we are on call as the Raw Patrol is on duty at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday, we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursdays, let us power your dreams with the Xbox Showcase at 9 p.m. Friday, we invite you to come for a ride with the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday, be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later in the day, the Locker Room presents Wrestling Recap delivers at 7 p.m. Always be aware that weekend shows can vary in times, as the PLE Patrol and other watch party streams are always a must-see. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day, and watch all of the latest episodes on turnbucklestudios.org/shows. And please do not forget to drop a like, follow, and to subscribe to all of our channels, and when the time is right, all you have to do is tap in.
That's right. 7 days, amazing amount of programming that we give you on the Turnbuckle Studios front. So you want to go and check that out. I want to talk about what we saw just a couple days ago, SmackDown. I want to talk about the 2 title changes that we saw, the MFTs becoming your new tag team champions by defeating the War Raiders, Damian Priest and R-Truth in a triple threat match, and then also Jacy Jayne defeating Tiffany Stratton to become the new Women's United States champion. That is absolutely amazing. I don't remember the last time we saw 2 title changes on SmackDown, especially 2 back-to-back to close off the show in the sense of of the matches, because what we saw after between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton was absolutely great to watch as well. Which, by the way, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton official for Sunday night main event. So check that out. And check that out throughout the week, as we'll have more information about the PLE Patrol on that. But now where do we go? Jacy Jayne defeating Tiffany Stratton, become that new champion. I think a lot of people saw something in there for Jacy Jayne. She had an opportunity to become the women's champion. Then now this opportunity for the United States champion. So now the Fatal Influence has that trifecta of championships. Laney Reed, Fallon Henley are your women's tag team champions. They defeated Paige and Brie Bella. And now we've seen Jacy Jayne with gold now. So it's safe to say Fatal Influence is the dominant group on SmackDown. I mean, 2 titles between the 3 members. How can you say otherwise? And then we see the MFTs. And we know Shinsuke Nakamura has fully put his direction on notice, is that he is after the MFTs and he's not coming back alone. Big question is, who does he have? There's been rumors running rampage of who he's bringing back. Let me know in the comments who you think it is. But I want to talk about SmackDown. I want to talk about SmackDown as a whole, because right now, watching SmackDown, I'm finding is a lot better than watching Raw. Raw feels a lot of a scattered show. It feels very repetitive in the same way that it's always bloodline heavy. We're getting less and less about the vision. So we don't seem to care about the vision anymore, even though they have tag titles as well. It just seems to be the same formula. But on SmackDown, it's different. Every week, yeah, we get maybe a couple of the same things, but the front and the whole thing of the show has just been new. Like, we started off the show with Nick Aldis bringing out Chelsea Green to talk about her broken orbital bone and what this means. Now, medical doesn't give Chelsea Green the green light to compete. But instead of Nick Aldis taking the title and stripping Chelsea Green for it, he plays the sympathetic card to Chelsea Green and ends up saying, you have 30 days. 30 days to get cleared, 30 days to get a mask, to defend this championship. And this comes after Chelsea Green, in a segment in the ring, on the microphone, pours her heart and soul out to Nick Aldis. Brings up Nick Aldis's match with Gunther at SummerSlam. Talks about how his kid and his wife watched. Talked about how he's been a champion, his wife's been a champion, and that she doesn't plan on giving this title up. She wants to be the champion that you can be proud of, that everyone can be proud of, because she's proved that it doesn't matter what creative says about you. What matters is what the individual says about themselves. Now, we've seen this in the past with other people, but we don't see this very often with a female talent. And Chelsea Green resonates with everyone. She has done so many comedy segments on her show to make you just say, how do you not enjoy this person? Her backstage segments are just entertaining. They're fun to watch, and they make you have a good time watching the show. And then now that she has overcome the odds, she won the 5-way ladder match, long shot, and became champion. It gives you that underdog mentality that, hey, if she can do it, why can't I? She's an inspiration to a lot of people. And there's a lot of people who over the years have said Chelsea Green is one of the most underappreciated, undervalued talent in WWE. She maximizes her minutes, and even when she gets 30 seconds, you enjoy it. She makes you feel, and that's exactly what a pro wrestler and a performer should be doing. But now she goes from that heel character into this babyface character that now is champion, but still doesn't feel like the odds-on favorite. And because of that, the crowd can sympathize with her. They can sympathize about the character Chelsea Green. And because of that, she resonates. She might not be the ass kicker in Rhea Ripley. She might not be the cool, badass villain in Jade Cargill. She might not be the bully in Nia Jax. But what she is that fun, likable one. And because of that, that resonates. The crowd did not want to see Chelsea Green be stripped of the championship. They want to keep fighting with her. She's on the verge, in my eyes, of being one of the most beloved characters in WWE. And we are not even scratching the surface just yet. But the single idea of Chelsea Green starting off SmackDown, running that into an interruption of the Ring General Gunther, who always talks about his dilemmas, what's going on with him. Not only is a man interrupting a female, that's going to get heat. No, it is the guy that retired your beloved John Cena, your beloved AJ Styles, your retired Bill Goldberg. He's been taking roughshod on announcers in the past, like Pat McAfee. He's been a bully himself. So you got St. John Soper coming in saying, hey, what's up, Chris? Just talking some SmackDown. How are you doing? Thanks for checking in on the Facebook side. I appreciate it. So the fans absolutely crap on Gunther, as they should. They're making Gunther look like a hated villain. Not only does he ignore Chelsea in a way and talk directly to Nick about, hey, why did you add Kevin Owens to my match? But he showed completely disrespect to Chelsea. Because what happens in Gunther's life is more important to Gunther than what happens on the rest of their show. And I love how they made Gunther look. But then you saw Chelsea Green snap back at Gunther, and then that irked Gunther. You can visibly tell that. And what happens when you get a one-up on Gunther on a microphone? He gets in your face. And this whole dilemma of a male and a female, that gets the oohs, that gets the ahs. but then it makes you just want to see Chelsea Green slap the everlasting entitlement off the ring general. But then what did we see? We just didn't see physicality. We didn't see that. We didn't need it. But what we did get was Matt Cardona rushing to the aid of his wife, running into the ring to stand up to Gunther with no hesitation, no questions asked. This was it. Matt Cardona was a man. He was a full-grown man in this situation, doing the right thing. And now he's stepping up to the big bad bully. And the fans are eating this up. And what this does in a single moment to Matt Cardona is this, in a visual way, tells the fans Matt Cardona is not taking that you know what anymore. Do not mess with him or his wife, because he's going to punch you in the face. And that's exactly what he did. He took it right to Gunther. And in a blink of an eye, you're getting Gunther in street clothes in a match against Matt Cardona in street clothes to open up SmackDown. And this was solely because Gunther is, for the sake of a better word, an asshole, and Matt Cardona is doing the right thing. We get what we needed to get. We got Gunther defeating Matt Cardona, because again, you're bringing sympathy into the realm, into the picture. Matt Cardona looked great in a loss to Gunther, because the reason why he picked a fight with Gunther in the first place is something that you respect him for. And in the meantime of this entire match, Chelsea Green is there by his side. Now all of a sudden, for the first time ever, WWE has made Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona a thing on their show. And for the first time, you're now seeing Matt Cardona in a light to where, you know what? I can see him becoming a world champion. It's going to take some time, but yeah, I'm on this train of watching Matt Cardona's rise to the world title. Because if he is to ever beat Gunther, if Matt Cardona ever defeats Gunther, how do you not reward that with a world title shot? And how do you not view Matt Cardona as somebody now to take serious moving forward? And that, in a moment's time, is how you turn someone who wasn't on the show every week to a bona fide main eventer. I think that is absolutely fantastic. And that is one reason I feel SmackDown is just the better show right now. So Jean coming in and saying, what do I think of Jade Cargill? I think she is fantastic. I think what she is doing on SmackDown is great. I love the group with B-Fab and Michin. And I do think the slow burn with this group is the right thing to do. She is getting better and better every time we see her. And she is a gem in this women's division. And it's very, very much appreciated, because she is one of the many reasons why this women's division, in my eyes, is the best women's division of all time. But we gotta pay some bills around here. I mentioned turnbucklestudios.org because that is the official web page of Turnbuckle Studios. You can do a lot of things on there. You can go and check out all the latest episodes of all the shows by clicking the episode link. It's just right at the top. You can even get direct viewership by checking out their YouTube, their Kick, or even their Twitch page by just clicking the icon on the homepage. I mean, that's pretty easy for accessibility. But the one thing I would like you to do is I would like you to check out Shop. Why? Because if you want to support any one of the shows, if you want to support the Chris Parrish podcast, please go to that shop And you can go and you can purchase yourself something with this logo on it. That's right. You can get yourself a Chris Parrish podcast shirt. You can get a hat. You can get a hoodie. You can get many accessories. So don't just take my word for it. Check out this commercial.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
I mean, if you were to ever get something that says the Chris Parrish podcast, I want you to let me know, because not only will I give you a live shout out on air, that's right, I'll shout you out on air, but if you send me a photo of that, we are looking to update videos here, and we need some ideas. We need some creative ideas on how to do that. And one of the ideas is, why not use the people who help support us and include them? So if you send me a photo and you're wearing a shirt, maybe you can just replace one of those people in the video. We'll get you to do a little modeling for us. How about that? We can check out you in a beautiful shirt that says the Chris Parrish podcast or anything else. Could be a Turnbuckle Studio shirt, could be one of the other shows. We just want you to support us, because we support you too. And we know that working together means we will be working straight to the top, because that's where we want to get to. But we'll get to more of that helping later. Question coming in and saying, who do I think in the men's division that's going through the roof? Well, I mean, there's a lot. I'm on the SmackDown train right now, talking about why I think SmackDown is the better show. So let's keep going with SmackDown, because one person who is just stepping up more and more, in my opinion, is Trick Williams. Trick Williams recently lost the United States Championship to Baron Corbin at SummerSlam, and I couldn't even be upset with that, because this was a guy who defeated Sami Zayn for that U.S. title at WrestleMania. He was supposed to be the next bad guy on SmackDown, called up from NXT. We're going to give him Lil Yachty as a hype man. We want Lil Yachty to be rude, obnoxious. Pair him up with Trick, it'll help. Yeah, till the fans just said, we're going to say, whoop that Trick until you guys just print it on more t-shirts. The fans do not want to boo Trick Williams, and you cannot get upset with the organic appreciation for Trick Williams. The big question I have is, does Lil Yachty make sense in a babyface Trick Williams role? We saw that a little bit on SmackDown, where Baron Corbin defeated Carmelo Hayes in a U.S. title match. Okay. Trick Williams comes out after the match. Lil Yachty sneaks up from behind and hits Baron Corbin with kendo stick. Baron Corbin looks, scares off Lil Yachty, takes that knee from Trick Williams, and boom, we're still rolling with Trick and Baron Corbin, as we should. Trick Williams needs, in my eyes, some closure around that U.S. title, unless the plan is to put it back on him at some point. And that is something that I don't know if I want to see, but they did kind of create that custom U.S. title with the fur around it and haven't changed it. So maybe, just maybe, we will see the U.S. title back around Trick Williams. So you coming in and saying, I think Danhausen is going up there with Trick. I do think popularity-wise, yes. Danhausen provides a lot of comedy, a lot of entertainment in his segments. The only thing I will say and maybe combat with is that's exactly why he's getting over, is because of the segments. The matches speak a completely different story. A lot of people did not enjoy the match between him and Dom Mysterio at SummerSlam. It was almost too many theatrics, and it kind of cut into that match, and it didn't help Dom Mysterio in any way. In fact, there's been a lot of critique over how Dom Mysterio has been looking of late on TV. Well, on the Raw side of it, AAA, he's looking like $1 million. So I do think there is some give and take with the Danhausen character, and I do think one of the things I would definitely be on the side of caution with is the overusage of Danhausen. I know as wrestling fans, we want more, but the idea of wanting more should always oversede the actual getting more. That's what makes a good wrestling show. And that is why I'm speaking so highly of SmackDown right now, because we're getting everything we want. We are getting multiple angles here. Like, let's just run through what we have on SmackDown. Coming up next Friday, we have CM Punk defending the WWE Undisputed Heavyweight Championship against Kevin Owens. Okay, so that's one program going on. We have Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton, and that's going to be at Sunday night's main event. So that's another program going on. We then have Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton kind of in a little bit of a 2-on-2 with Lash Legend and Nia Jax. So that's another program. We saw Finn Balor get in the face of Gunther, and it looks like that could be something going on. Gunther could also be doing something with Matt Cardona. So we have that going on. And yes, it looks like Gunther versus Finn Balor is going to happen. And I do think we see Matt Cardona get involved in that match. We then have Baron Corbin and Trick Williams for the U.S. title there. We have Shinsuke Nakamura and his partner wanting to go after the MFTs, who are now tag team champions. The War Raiders, R-Truth and Damian Priest, have something kind of brewing within their realm as well. So you got a couple things going on in that tag division. You then have Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, and Paige, and that going on. And then let's not even kid ourselves about Jade Cargill, B-Fab Meechin up against Charlotte Flair, up against Alexa Bliss, and the newly acquired Tatum Paxley on SmackDown. And then we have Fatal Influencer, by the way, your women's tag team champions and now United States champion. And then we're not even talking about Rhea Ripley, who's out with an injury. We're not even talking about Ilya Dragunov and Jordan Grace, who haven't been on the show for a while. And we're not even talking about The Miz, Kit Wilson, among others. So when we know that SmackDown is going back to the 3-hour format in January, it's no surprise that it's going to be a very filled show, because look how much we have going on. SmackDown is not only structured very well, but they're setting themselves in positions to have stuff that moves on to something else. Room to have those big surprises. We don't even know if people like Royce Keys or Solo Sikoa are even going to go back to SmackDown. And then we're hearing that now Raw and SmackDown could be changing up part of the rosters. There could be some talent movement going on there. So it's going to be a lot of fun just to watch kind of how the evolution of the show goes. But I really do recommend watching SmackDown right now, as I think it is a show that it might be a 2-hour show now, 3-hour show in January. The time flies by watching it, and that's a sign of a great show, because as soon as something starts dragging on, or it feels like, oh, I can't believe we still have 30 minutes left, 20 minutes left, an hour left, that is a sign of a show that you're just getting worn out watching. You don't get that, in my opinion, with SmackDown, and that is a very good thing to have. Sinjina, I appreciate the question about Natalya on NXT, and I will talk about that as we come back from this next ad break, and that is, if you're at turnbucklestudios.org and you want to become a member of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, or even a part of the team here at Turnbuckle Studios, and get yourself into the form of whether it's content creation, or even say, hey, I see that Turnbuckle Studios, you're now on Discord, and I have some history helping out with the Discord channel. Can I help you with that? Go and check out the join button on that website, click it, and you can then let us know what you can provide and you can bring to our team, because we're always listening. We're always looking to expand. We're always looking to get better, because we know that we cannot stay the same without expanding and changing. So please go to turnbucklestudios.org, hit that join function, and let us know what you can do for us. And yes, we got a video for that, and we're going to play it. So please check it out.
A Turnbuckle Affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today, because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
Now, Sanjin, you had that question coming in. What do I think about Natalya in NXT? I personally love it. And I love it for multiple ways. Natalya does a lot of work with helping with training. She has that gym with her husband, that new little dungeon that they have, and it's a great way for people to go get ring time. It's a great place to kind of help teach. So she likes working with newer talent, or just with talent. She's a very good teacher, one of the best, and that's what she's doing in NXT. She's teaching the new crop, and that's, I think, the right thing. This is what I love about WWE, is you have so many people who care about doing the right thing and giving back to the business and helping the new era succeed. And yes, do I think there might have been times in her career that maybe she could have been used in a different way? Absolutely. But she's not at that point in her career anymore. She's doing a lot of stuff outside of the company, whether it's with other companies or just doing other ventures. And I think for that, she gets a lot of that creative process out, because she might not get that within WWE on the Raw or SmackDown. But then she also gets to do what she is very passionate about, and that is helping the next generation and the next group. And I feel that that is something she excels at. And I can really see her becoming a teacher in the Performance Center when her in-ring career is winding down or even over. So I like that. I think it's fantastic. And I do think that Natalya is one of the most unsung heroes in the Hart family, because of what she does for the business. When you look through even the Bret Harts, the Owen Harts, her dad, Jim Anvil, British Bulldog, the people that came before her didn't exactly give back to the business the way she's been doing. And I think that gets overlooked and underappreciated. So I think Natalya is one of the most underappreciated talents of all time, because of her willingness to always help out. So that's my thoughts on Natalia. And going to NXT, I think that's fantastic because NXT is looked at that next kind of slash brand slash developmental scene with WWE. It's your good to not be just a performance center trainee. You need to be on TV and you need to get your reps on a television show. And that's kind of now what NXT is there for. And you need that veteran presence, people that know to teach you through the real time, because there are people that learn from the X's and O's, and there are people that learn through just repetition by doing it. And that's why it's very important to have people like Natalia, like Shawn Spears, soon to be Eric Young. I'm almost sure that is exactly the role he's going to play. But it's very crucial you have those pieces in there. And it's why guys like CM Punk like going back to NXT every now and then and doing that little round of live events that we saw this past week. It's why those things are happening, because now in WWE, there's a lot of people, a lot of veterans that like to give back to the next generation, to the younger talent. And I think that's fantastic. So, yeah, very, very much happy that she's still there. And it's why I hope somebody like Bayley remains with WWE as well, as we all know that that's something that we're not sure what the future entails. We know that Bayley likes to put things out online. She's been doing that. A lot of speculation about whether or not she's going to let her current deal expire and go to AEW, or is this just all smoke and mirrors before she re-signs and stays with WWE? Time will tell. I don't have any answers, but what I do like is that the fact that one of the narratives going around is talking about Bayley, because Bayley is another one I feel gets overlooked and underappreciated at times as well. One of my personal favorites in the women's division, and I think I just can't wait to see what she does next, because how she helped Lyra Valkyria transition into that heel character and that persona, I thought was fantastic. But I do think her going back and finishing that story with Lyra and helping Lyra kind of get over that next curve right now, I think is very crucial as well. So I can't wait to see kind of that next chapter. Could be in WWE, could be somewhere else. All I know is I'll be watching. Just like I hope that next week you all will be watching. That's right. We're nearing the end. We still have some time left. But what we like to do every week is let everybody know what next week's show is. We know that this week is episode 141 credit score. Next week, though, is going to be episode 142 paradigm shift. And if you want to know why we're going to say paradigm shift, make sure you're checking out the show next week. Sinjin's coming in with another question, and I love it. Bring on the question. He's like, do you think any more AEW guys will head over to WWE? Over time, yes. I think we're going to see a lot of movement between people from AEW to WWE, but even with WWE to AEW. I do think we're going to see some movement, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some even this year. I still think there's going to be some people that move from both companies. I know that Austin Creed, formerly Xavier Woods, and formerly Kofi Kingston, now Kofi, going under his real name or even that abbreviated KSM, his initials, he has trademarked that. They're highly expected to join AEW. In fact, it sounds like they could be joining Swerve Strickland over on the AEW side into a kind of a group there as well. So that's going to be a big get for AEW if those two go over there. But do I think we're going to see some people go over to WWE? Yeah, I would love to see the Butcher and the Blade move over to WWE. We've heard a lot of talks over the past about the tag team division wanting or needing a shakeup. I think the Butcher and the Blade could do very well in WWE, and it would be a lot of fun to check that out. We've seen just many people go over and have a great change. Like, obviously, it's all started off with Cody Rhodes being that first person to leave AEW to go to WWE, and then that followed with Jade Cargill. And then now currently we see guys like Penta, who is, in my opinion, the pick to face Roman Reigns when Raw is in Mexico. His brother Ray Phoenix, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, who dat, by the way. And then just others as well. But, I mean, that's what happens when you have options. People go back and forth. You see Rusev, Miro, Aleister Black, Andrade. That's just how this business works, and we're going to continuously see this again. Do I think Moxley will ever go back? I don't know. I really don't know, because I thought at one point we'd see Jericho, and I don't think that's ever going to happen. So would I like to see Moxley come back? You know what? I'm going to say this. I think if he did, he wouldn't come back as Dean Ambrose. He would stay as Jon Moxley. I don't want to see anything about the Shield unless we're talking Hall of Fame stuff. The only time I think Jon Moxley will come back to WWE is to help induct one of Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns into the Hall of Fame. And I think that's more Seth Rollins, as I think Roman Reigns clearly will have family do it for him. So my answer, I guess, to you is I don't think Jon Moxley goes to WWE. I think what he's doing in AEW is very crucial and very good there. He gets to do what he wants. I don't think he's going to be able to do that style in WWE much. So that's just something that I think is a preference for him. And because of that, I think he's happier where he is right now. But it's the wrestling world. Things can change. I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's all I know. Do want to let everybody know that we do have a tag team partner here over on the Chris Parrish Podcast and Turnbuckle Studios. We have partnered up with Dubby. That's right. If you want to use the promo code Parrish10 when you're shopping at Dubby, at the Dubby.gg, you can save yourself 10%. And yeah, it would be fantastic. So make sure you're checking out Dubby and you're helping out yourself by saving some money at checkout. We've got Bobby Stats coming in saying, I just like the video and the channel for you. Thank you so much for that. And that's right. We're nearing the end of this show. So if you haven't already, hit a like, follow, subscribe on any of the platforms. We're currently live on Facebook, Twitch, Kick, X, and we're doing so on multiple venues, whether it's the Chris Parrish podcast and like my channels, or we're on the Turnbuckle Studios. We're doing that. You can also check out this show live on Spotify. That's right. The Chris Parrish podcast is on Spotify. And if it's not a pre-recorded interview, it's on live. All the other episodes will be uploaded the day of, so you can check out this episode later on Spotify as it will be done there. You can also check out the Chris Parrish podcast on TikTok. And for all that, you want to go and check out my link tree up above Chris Parrish. Or if you're searching turnbucklestudios.org, you can go and hit the host function and you can check out all my socials there, as it also gives you a direct link to my link tree. This has been episode 141, Credit Score. I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat, Bobby Stats and Sanjeet. Thank you so much for coming in and having a great show with me. I enjoy it, and hopefully I will see you next week as I'm back. This is, once again, episode 141, Credit Score, the Chris Parrish podcast, and I want to let everybody know that I hope you be yourself. I hope that you're happy. I hope that you're healthy, because at the end of the day, you matter. Take care, and I'll see you next week.
Rip through the clouds, fast to catch us from falling close to the ground. Perish or try to fight it, parachute now.